How to harness sexual energy to attract wealth and love. The alchemy of desire. What if the very force that fuels your desire for touch, pleasure, and intimacy, is the same power that can summon wealth and love into your life? The ancient mystics did not see lust as sin. They saw it as raw, divine fire, the prima materia of inner alchemy. To them, sexual energy wasn't something to suppress or escape. It was something to transform. In the ancient temples of Egypt, the priests of Isis whispered secrets under moonlight, secrets about eros and abundance. In the tantric scrolls of India, sages wrote that sexual energy is life force in motion, capable of creating worlds, or manifesting treasures of the heart and gold alike. But somewhere along the way, this knowledge was buried. Condemned. Feared. You were told to ignore your desires. Or to indulge them blindly. And both lead to powerlessness. But what if there's a third way, a sacred path known only to the initiated? A way to harness your sexual energy, not through suppression, nor indulgence, but through transmutation. Tonight, I will take you into the hidden chambers of the soul. Where lust becomes light. And desire becomes the magnet that draws wealth and love to your feet. This is not New Age fluff. This is the art of sexual alchemy. And it begins now. What is sexual energy, really? Sexual energy is not just about pleasure. It is not merely a biological urge or a means of reproduction. It is life force itself, the Kundalini spoken of by Indian mystics, the serpent power that lies coiled at the base of the spine, waiting to awaken. The Taoists called it Jing, the vital essence. The alchemists of old saw it as the prima materia, the chaotic raw substance that, once refined, becomes gold, not just literal gold, but spiritual treasure. Sexual energy is the spark of creation, the same current that ignites stars, that births galaxies, that brings a child into the world. When you feel aroused, it is not just physical stimulation. It is your soul's memory of creation, stirring in your blood. Modern science sees it in fragments, neurochemicals, dopamine, oxytocin. But ancient wisdom saw the whole. The sacred current that, if left unmastered, dissipates through fleeting pleasure, but if concentrated, can become a beam of pure manifestation. You see, this energy is neutral. It is like fire. It can burn your house down, or light your way through the dark. The key is direction. Unconsciously, most people leak their sexual energy, like a cracked vessel losing precious wine. Every unexamined fantasy, every compulsive indulgence, every scroll through pleasure-based distractions, each one fragments the power. But when you hold that energy, when you contain it, honor it, transmute it, it becomes a magnetic force that bends reality around your desires. As Napoleon Hill once wrote in Think and Grow Rich, sex transmutation is the switching of the mind from thoughts of physical expression, to thoughts of some other nature. And what is that other nature? Creation. Wealth. Vision. Love. Because what you do with your sexual energy is what you do with your life force. Use it with intention. And the universe begins to answer. Why sexual energy is the magnet of attraction. Imagine standing before a still lake at dawn. The waters are calm. You drop a single pebble, and the ripples spread outward, touching everything. Now imagine your sexual energy as that pebble, dense with desire, vibration, and intention. When properly awakened and directed, it sends a frequency out into the quantum field, one that calls things back to you. In esoteric traditions across the world, this truth was known. Like attracts like, but only when your energy is coherent. Focused. Magnetic. Sexual energy, when charged and retained, becomes an energetic signature, vibrating with power. And everything in existence, wealth, love, opportunities, even chance encounters, responds to vibration. Why? Because the universe doesn't respond to words. It responds to states of being. And sexual energy is one of the most potent states a human can embody. Have you ever noticed how someone with sexual confidence, true embodied radiance, not performative showmanship, naturally attracts others? Not just in lust, but in loyalty, admiration, even financial abundance. That's not coincidence. That's magnetism. The Taoist sages understood this. They spoke of inner alchemy, where Jing, sexual essence, was refined into qi, life energy, and eventually into shen, spiritual radiance. When this process was mastered, the practitioner became magnetic, not by force, but by nature. This is what Napoleon Hill was referring to when he wrote, "Men who have accumulated great fortunes and achieved outstanding recognition were motivated by the influence of a woman, or by their ability to transmute sexual energy into genius-level creativity." He knew, as all mystics did, that sexual energy is the mother of all attraction. When suppressed, it turns into anxiety. When wasted, it leaves you hollow. But when transmuted, it becomes a beacon. You become the flame. And everything you desire becomes the moth. The ancient practices of transmutation. Now that the veil is lifted, and the sacred nature of sexual energy is seen, the question becomes: how do we transmute it? How do we refine this wild, primal force into something that draws wealth and love like iron to a magnet? For that, we turn to the ancient practices. These are not fantasies or rituals of fiction, they are grounded, time-tested techniques passed in whispers, often only from teacher to initiate. Let us begin in the East. 1. The Taoist way, cultivating Jing into Qi. Taoist inner alchemists practiced the art of retention, not abstinence out of guilt, but conscious redirection. They called it the microcosmic orbit. In this practice, sexual energy is circulated up the spine and down the front of the body, forming a loop of light. The energy, rather than being expelled, is recycled and refined, moving from the base chakra upward, awakening the heart and illuminating the mind. Each time desire arises, it becomes fuel for the internal fire, not a leak. How? Sit in stillness. Breathe deeply. When arousal arises, do not suppress it, guide it. Imagine a golden current rising from your root up your spine with the inhale, and descending down the front of your body with the exhale. Smile inwardly. This is sacred. You are becoming the vessel of transformation. 2. The yogic path, awakening the Kundalini. In Tantric Yoga, practitioners visualized Shakti, the goddess of energy, asleep at the base of the spine. Through breath work, pranayama, meditation, and intention, she awakens, spiraling upward to unite with Shiva at the crown. This union isn't physical, it's cosmic. It births insight, vision, and manifestation. The yogi's secret was simple: do not fear your desire. Make love to it inwardly. Let it open your inner eye. 3. Western alchemy, Sol Vitae Coagula. The Hermeticists of the West spoke in riddles. Separate the subtle from the gross, gently and with great ingenuity. To them, transmutation began with the principle of Sol Vitae Coagula, to dissolve the crude and reform it into the refined. In practical terms, acknowledge desire. Don't act on it immediately. Meditate. Journal. Channel the heat into creativity. Let the fire bake your visions, new art, new business, new love. Then act, not from craving, but from power. And all of this leads to one truth. You don't need to get rid of sexual energy. You need to become its master. When you do, the world changes how it moves around you. Practical rituals to attract wealth and love. Theory is the map. But ritual is the journey. You've now glimpsed the sacred current of sexual energy, and the ancient ways of transmutation. But how do you take this from idea to embodied practice? How do you turn this mystic force into a living magnet for wealth and love? Let me offer you 3 rituals, simple, but potent, each rooted in esoteric tradition, yet refined for the modern seeker. Ritual 1, the morning seed, charging your day with power. Every morning, before the noise of the world enters your mind, you are closest to source energy. Here is what you must do. Sit in silence. Close your eyes. Breathe into your lower abdomen, the Tan Tien, the center of energy storage in Taoist practice. Begin to gently awaken your sexual energy, not by fantasy, but by breath and focus. Feel the warmth gather in your root. Now, imagine a golden light rising up your spine, pouring into your heart, and resting behind your eyes. Speak aloud an intention for the day. But not in a begging tone. Say it as a decree. I am magnetic to wealth and irresistible to divine love. My energy creates what I command. This is called seeding the field. You are imprinting your sexual force with intention, and sending it into the world like a wave. Ritual 2, the sacred pause, redirecting arousal. Throughout the day, desire may rise, unexpectedly. A passing thought. A glance. A memory. Most waste that moment. But the initiated, transmute it. When arousal strikes. Pause. Close your eyes if possible. Inhale deeply, lifting your spine. As you exhale, visualize the heat rising from your pelvis up to your crown, like a serpent of fire turning into light. Whisper to yourself. I choose to create. I am the master of my flame. This single act, repeated, makes you sovereign. Each desire denied becomes power stored. Ritual 3, the moon mirror, drawing love and wealth. Under the moon, especially the waxing or full moon. Perform this ritual to call in what your soul craves. Light a white or gold candle. Sit before a mirror. Gaze into your own eyes, not as flesh, but as spirit. Awaken your sexual energy with breath. Not to climax, but to intensity. Let your body tremble with life force. Now, speak your desires, not as wishes, but as affirmed realities. Love flows to me now. The right hearts are drawn to my radiance. Wealth comes easily. I am the embodiment of abundance. Repeat this for 9 nights. Mark the changes. You are not asking. You are aligning. In all these rituals, the secret is this. You must believe that your energy is sacred. Because what you believe, becomes your spell. The path of the sexual alchemist, final thoughts. To walk the path of sexual alchemy is to stand at the threshold between the seen and the unseen. It is to know that within your very body, your breath, your desire, your pulse, lives a divine furnace. One that can forge not just pleasure, but power. Not just passion, but purpose. You are not here to be ruled by your urges. Nor to run from them. You are here to transcend them, by moving through them with awareness, reverence, and mastery. And in doing so, you become something rare in this world. A being who is both sensual and sovereign, both desirous and divine. Remember this. Wealth responds to confidence, not craving. Love is drawn to radiance, not need. And radiance comes from a soul that has claimed its fire. You do not need to chase what you want. You only need to become the flame that draws it near. This is the secret taught in mystery schools, whispered in temples, guarded in scrolls. Not because it was forbidden, but because few are ready to wield it. Now you are. Let your life become the ritual. Let your energy become the altar. Let your every breath declare. I am the alchemist. My desire is my power. And I call forth all that is already mine. The magnet is within you. Use it. And let the world come running. You've entered the temple of hidden keys. Now subscribe, and unlock the next gate of ancient truth.